Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. I'm pleased as the Minister of Justice to be representing some persons from the Department of National Drug Control as we join together with the United States and other jurisdictions throughout the world in proclaiming September as National Recovery Month. Now in its 23rd year, Recovery Month is an observance which aims to educate the public on the facts that addiction treatment services can enable those with substance use disorders to live healthy and rewarding life. Recovery Month also highlights individuals who have reclaimed their lives and are living healthy and happy lives in long-term recovery, and also honors the prevention, treatment, and recovery service providers who make recovery possible. And I'm joined by two members of our recovery team here in Bermuda. One person who represents Ms. Bassett, the Women's Treatment Center, and the other person, Ms. Trott, who was fiddling around with her telephone, who represents BARC. Recovery Month also promotes the message that recovery in all its forms is possible, and also encourages citizens to take action to help expand and improve the availability of effective prevention, treatment, and recovery services for those in need. And Recovery Month also spreads the positive message that behavioral health is essential to overall health. Prevention works, treatment is effective, and people can and do recover. Ladies and gentlemen, over the course of the next 4 weeks, it is our aim to celebrate people who are in recovery. Today, as I've indicated previously, I am here joined happily with some of the treatment providers and treatment service providers. And in fact, these individuals are at the front line of providing treatment and counseling to individuals that are suffering from substance issues, and they are at the front line of helping these individuals get back to a positive lifestyle and a healthy lifestyle. And I certainly want to take this opportunity to thank them, as well as the other service providers here in Bermuda that offer assistance in helping persons to on the road of recovery. They do a very, very important, vital task, and we have to commend each and every one of them for their dedication. In addition, ladies and gentlemen, to raise the public awareness of Recovery Month, the Department of National Drug Control has planned a series of events aimed at engaging and educating the community about the importance of supporting those who are recovering or who have successfully recovered from a substance dependency. It is our hope that through these activities, people will recognize that while the road to recovery may be difficult, the benefits of preventing and overcoming mental and or substance use disorders are significant and very valuable. Some of the events include a series of radio talk programs on local stations, a soccer tournament at Devonshire Recreational Club honoring the late Nelson Bascom, who, as many of you will recall, was a drug treatment counselor. And as well, there will be a walk sponsored by the Women's Treatment Center. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, as you would be aware, mental and or substance use disorders not only affect those who are suffering, but also their families and friends and the larger community. So that this underscores how critical it is to provide access to prevention, treatment, and recovery support services. Substance abuse of any kind is a huge affliction on our society, which has resulted in tremendous human cost. It breaks bonds between parents and children and turns productive individuals into addicted and destructive personalities. We are a small community, and I think it's safe to say that there is not a single person on this island who in some way or another has not been affected by substance abuse. Like me, they may have a family member who is dealing with a dependency issue, or a friend or coworker who is also struggling. So I strongly support the recognition of Recovery Month, and I encourage all of Bermuda to be mindful of this observance. I must also commend the Department of National Drug Control for highlighting initiatives such as the ones that I've spoken about, which will assist in teaching our community about the need to not only address the dangers of substance abuse, but to also let people know that there is help here in Bermuda available. And through the Department of NDC, this government has engaged in a coordinated effort to reach out and assist those needing help to overcome their dependency issues. So this September, I call on each and every person in Bermuda to embrace recovery by celebrating National Recovery Month, because prevention works, treatment is effective, and people do recover. Thank you.
What's new on the treatment front? I know a lot of years we spent, and it was a lot of going around in circles almost. What's new on the recovery front? Because we're looking at more and more individuals finding a new way to get over. So what has changed?
Okay, I'll pass that on in a moment. I wouldn't, with respect, agree with you that we've been going around in circles. Treatment has been working, and we've seen that in the studies that are conducted, particularly through the auspices of the National Drug Commission, that there has been a reduction in the use of chemical or other mind-altering substances by our youth. The statistics with respect to the inmates' use has remained the same. So I think that if we're seeing a reduction in the use, then you can't certainly say, on the other hand, that there's just treatments going on and on and on. I mean, the reality is that we obviously have seen successes. And in terms of what is actually new, I'll step aside for a few moments, but I think the main point that we need to recognize is that there are facilities that are available here in Bermuda that are designed specifically to assist in providing treatment for chemical and substance abuse disorders so that we can help those individuals lead productive, healthy lives.
Charles.
Thank you. In terms of what is new on the treatment front, we're seeing in Bermuda, just like anywhere else in the world, that people are looking for treatment more than they have before. In a small community such as ours, we do have several facilities that are available. We have outpatient treatment available at Turning Point, and several modalities of treatment available to people who need to go into treatment, like methadone program. There's a detox unit. All of those things are available. We have gender-specific treatment at the Women's Treatment Center. We also have men's-only treatment at the Men's Treatment Center, as well as Harbor Light. There's intervention services at Focus that has been in place for a number of years. So there are quite a few things going on. In terms of newness, government is at this moment working very speedily to provide a facility that will house more women and more men. So that is something that is coming up in the very, very near future, where men and women are going to have access to increased bed space for residential treatment services.
And your name is?
Angria Bass.
A-N-G-R-E-A?
A-N-G-R-I-A.
You're angry. Minister, I'm just intrigued by this word you use, celebrate people who are in recovery. Do you mean encourage them or?
No, I mean just that, celebrate. We recognize that chemical dependency it can be a battle for individuals. And with the acknowledgement that we do have various treatment modalities and facilities here in Bermuda, when they reach recovery, we have nothing to do but celebrate, because that person has achieved a milestone, and that as a result of the treatment services that are provided, obviously family support and friends and so forth, that person, once they reach recovery, which is an ongoing process, but once they reach recovery, we have to celebrate. So I specifically chose that word deliberately.
One point, you say that some of the events included a series of radio talk programs. I don't mean to be unkind, but given my experience with listening to radio talk programs, what do you hope to accomplish with the radio talk programs?
Well, I think it's primarily, like I indicated, it's to educate. The reality is we do have quite a number of persons in Bermuda that listen to those talk shows religiously. Oftentimes there's information on there that might not necessarily be of educational value, but we are supported by the fact that we will have service providers such as the persons to my right, as well as members from the NDC and others, who are on the front line that will help to educate the people about the process of recovery, the treatment modalities and services that are available. It will be from an educational point of view, and because we have so many people that do listen to the talk shows, it will be perhaps a welcome change to provide information that will be of an educational benefit.
So they'll be talking more than the people calling in?
Well, no doubt the people that are calling in will maybe have their own experiences that they'd like to share. And we'll certainly be encouraging people that are in recovery to be able to share their experiences so that other people know and can hear from them that recovery is possible.